As chairman of the board of New York University and chairman of the search committee, I'm pleased to introduce Linda Mills. Linda Mills was overwhelmingly the perfect choice to help us move forward into the future. The search committee laid out a set of criteria. Number one, the university had to be the place you wanted to be. It couldn't be a notch on your career. You had to be nimble. You had to be globally tuned in. Constantly, you were facing the students, faculty, administrators. You were there to fundraise. So that flexibility and that quick responsiveness required a particular type of person. Paced, but fast-paced. Linda has not only a law degree, but a PhD. She has an artistic side where she's a filmmaker. She doesn't sort of do what everybody else does. She does things because she sees opportunities. When she was confronted with the pandemic, she figured out a solution for our students around the globe. Go local. She is someone who gets it done, and gets it done to be the best. And all at the same time, she's busy working on all of her other research projects. Real demonstration of the ability to multitask, which is a critical element in such a large, complex university. The board and the search committee are confident that Linda will bring an even brighter future to NYU.
I'm humbled, I'm honored, I'm excited. I am filled with a sense of hope and potential and possibility. Like many of you, I've spent my career at NYU because it continues to feed my insatiable curiosity. Nothing is more exciting than talking to a faculty member about their research and talking to them about what they're curious about, the nut that they have to crack. And when I'm talking to a staff member about a problem or an issue or a new program they want to create, sitting with them, hearing about what they're curious about and how we might explore whatever it is they're working on. And then, of course, sitting with students and hearing more about their curiosities, what their future lives are going to be like, the kinds of questions they're asking themselves, what they've just learned in class. For me, education has always been about delving into new fields in order to answer a particular question. During the Holocaust, my great-grandmother was picked up in Vienna, Austria, and transported to Riga, where she was killed in a mobile gas chamber. She didn't see justice. And I think my whole life, I tried to understand how one might figure out what justice could look like. And law school was my first port of entry. When I graduated, I started a not-for-profit for people with disabilities so that I could support them in their process of applying for Social Security benefits. After law school, I began to explore a different set of questions related to trauma, resiliency, and recovery. And so I decided to get a social work degree. A few years later, I went back to school to get a PhD. So now I was a social scientist, I was a therapist, I was a lawyer, and I could really tackle the issue of domestic violence across all of these dimensions. As a faculty member, I developed the first restorative justice treatment program in the United States, which is being rolled out in 5 jurisdictions today. So much of my childhood was overshadowed by this history of the Holocaust that often my mother just didn't ever talk about. I asked her if she would be willing to go back to Austria and actually tell me her story. Once we got to Vienna, the story that we were telling was bigger than just my mother's story, and that's the day I became a filmmaker. Each of these disciplines gives me a unique ability to observe the world to be curious about the world, to listen, and always to ask questions. And right now, this is a moment in history where we need to ask a whole lot of questions. Higher education is under attack despite our efforts every single day to deliver the best possible education to our students. Inequality continues to plague our society, whether that's racism or anti-Semitism or Islamophobia, anti-Asian violence, or the LGBTQ community coming under attack. The arts and humanities are misunderstood despite their essential role in defining our past and building our future. Mental health concerns are pervasive. Every community is touched by them. NYU has a role to play in each and every one of these issues. It's in our DNA to push boundaries, examine issues, and tackle problems like no other institution of higher education. We are adventurous, experimental, global, entrepreneurial, unstoppable. Our task is to thrive, to be inclusive, to be unconventional, to be bold, to be creative. As your 17th president, I commit to creating the resources and systems that are essential to this next step. Faculty, students, staff, and alums, what can we do together to make NYU the best possible university in the world? What would it take to thrive? I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your concerns. I want to hear your dreams. I want to hear from you.